to enter a no-spin zone. Practice begins in 9 seconds.
Good evening, I'm Kieran Chetri. President Bush announced his long-awaited plan for Mideast peace today. The president says he'll support a Palestinian state, but with conditions. He wants free elections by the end of the year and new leaders not, quote, compromised by terror. Mr. Bush also asked Israel to support that vision.
A stable, peaceful Palestinian state is necessary to achieve the security that Israel longs for. So I challenge Israel to take concrete steps to support the emergence of a viable, credible Palestinian state.
Amid peace talks, more violence, though. Israeli tanks swept into Hebron, clashing with Palestinian gunmen. 2 Palestinians are reported dead. The accused 20th hijacker, Zacarias Moussaoui, wants some help defending himself now. Moussaoui previously won the right to represent himself. Now he says he wants a Muslim attorney to assist him. Federal prosecutors are objecting to that, and the judge said today Moussaoui cannot use the lawyer, at least until the right paperwork is filed. Well, it was a politically disastrous year for Congressman Gary Condon, but it turned out to be a great one for loyal staff members. The Capitol Hill newspaper Roll Call reports that Condon significantly increased several staff members' salaries. They'll, of course, need it because next year they won't have jobs. Condon lost his re-election bid in the midst of the Chandra Levy scandal. And we're back at the bottom of the hour with more news. The O'Reilly Factor is next.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us tonight. Last week, we told you that your tax dollars, 24 billion of them every year, are going to people who illegally enter the United States. Now, once again, it seems the American taxpayer is taking for a ride, a train ride. That's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. President Bush will give Amtrak another $200 million in loan guarantees because the train is going bankrupt once again. Since 1971, Amtrak has not had one profitable year, and that has cost us more than $35 billion. The crack Department of Transportation oversees Amtrak, and Michael Dukakis is on the board of directors. I confronted the governor about Amtrak last August. Here's what the Boston Herald said this week, Governor. Counted on as the silver bullet that would save Amtrak from the chronic financial problems, the high-speed Acela Express is suffering from a growing number of empty seats on the New York to Boston leg, a new federal report shows. That's just one factor that will make it virtually impossible for Amtrak to meet its federal mandate to be self-sufficient by 2003. Can't you get the Japanese in here to figure this deal out? I mean, come on.
Well, for one thing, that report is wrong, Bill. We will be operationally self-sufficient by the year 2003. And you're not going to privatize this thing.
All right, well, that's not going to happen. As opposed to the running of the railroad into your wallet, once again, the taxpayer is taking a massive hit, something that doesn't seem to bother Chuck Schumer, the senator from New York.
We are today demanding that the administration put up the $200 million that is needed to keep Amtrak going, just as the federal government subsidizes our highways and subsidizes our airports and air travel. They should be doing the same to rail.
So he's demanding $200 million more. So here we go again, more government spending on a doomed proposition. The Department of Transportation simply can't run anything. The only thing it can do is spend our money. Ridership has not significantly increased in 10 years, and Amtrak continues to hemorrhage money. While it is true the nation needs trains, they must be modeled after the Japanese bullet trains. They must be quicker and easier to use. The only solution here is to let somebody like Donald Trump buy out Amtrak. I'd even let Trump put casino cars on board the trains so he'd make money immediately. In return, he'd have to upgrade the whole system. I repeat, that is the only solution to the Amtrak mess. But the government will not endorse creative action. They'll continue to spend our tax money on Amtrak, as they have been doing for 30 years. And if the federal deficit grows, people like Chuck Schumer will raise our taxes and waste even more money. Talking Point sees no light at the end of the train tunnel here and knows we are being railroaded by the feds once again. Sorry for the puns, but few are working effectively on the railroad. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight. New developments in the kidnapping of 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart. Joining us now from Salt Lake City is Fox News correspondent Adam Housley. Go. What do you got?
All right, Bill, there's a couple of important points today. The first one is Brett Michael Edmonds, the most wanted man so far in this case, at least for the last week or so here in Salt Lake City. He was the man found in the West Virginia hospital who almost died from his drug overdose. We're hearing from FBI sources that he is basically a nobody. They went out there, they thought he might have a connection to this case, and they're hearing they truly believe he has no connection whatsoever to her disappearance and didn't see anything either. That's a key point because he was their main potential suspect or witness. Today, we also hear now that we reported last night, actually, exclusive report Fox News did that we've confirmed today and done some more stuff as well on a suspect, or a guy they're almost calling a suspect. The real semantic in this thing, Bill, his name is Richard Reese. He's a man who worked for the Smarts. He's a man who has a very long criminal record, and he did serve time for attempted murder on a police officer. So this guy has a long record, and they won't call him a suspect, but they say he's a guy they're looking at very seriously.
I found out why they don't call him a suspect. Because as soon as they call him a suspect, then he has Miranda rights. If they don't call him a suspect, then the cops can quiz him and he can't demand a lawyer, like, and informally chat with him. That's why they didn't do it. That came from a law enforcement agent. I'll read in the mail segment. But we hear a rumor now, Adam, and it's just a rumor. We don't report on rumors, but because this case is such a special interest situation, we hear a rumor that Ricci and Edmonds knew each other.
Well, there's a rumor that's out there. I asked that point blank to the police chief this morning. He says, well, we don't know if he does. Now, the FBI source we have says they can't find the connection between the two men, that is, Mr. Edmonds and Mr. Reese. But there's a potential possibility. These guys were in the same area. Reese's a handyman who was working in the area. Edmonds was a guy living in his car in that same neighborhood. So the possibility is there. The FBI says they haven't yet made that connection.
All right. They're both punks. Ricci has a long record, and so does Edmonds. Edmonds is a drug addict. Ricci admitted breaking into the Smart home, had contact with the Smart children because he did work on their house, as you said. His house and car had been searched. He was voluntarily talked to the police, as we said. That's why he's not been in a suspect. Police have not shown Ricci's photograph to the little 9-year-old girl. Is that true?
So they say. Well, so they say. I mean, I can't believe that they haven't shown the picture to him because that picture's been released all over the media. There's a possibility she could be tainted. So, again, Salt Lake City Police Department sometimes will say a few things. They'll brush over a few subjects and won't necessarily say no point blank. But you got to believe they've shown her that picture. Also, one more note, Bill. He is, we're told by the FBI sources, he is also, Mr. Reese, that is, has not passed a lie detector test. He flunked it. He failed it. That's what they tell us.
How big is this guy, Reese? Because the little girl said about 200 pounds, around 6 foot. How big is this guy?
He fits the description pretty closely. They say he's a little bit taller than what she remembers, but he's a pretty close match, Bill.
All right.
But
so
again, they're not calling him a suspect.
Let's recap. The FBI tells you that this Brett Michael Edmonds, even though he fled across the country, is not involved as far as they know. And he probably fled because he's a heroin addict. He didn't want to get jammed up and then couldn't get his little high or whatever he's after. Now they got a new guy,
Ricci. He's also wanted for other warrants.
Right. They got a new guy, Ricci. He has access to the kids, knows the house, worked on the house, fits the description, and they have not yet named him a suspect because they don't want to Mirandize him. But you say, Adam, he has failed a lie detector test.
He's failed a lie detector test, according to FBI sources. They've searched several areas he's been known to associate and areas he's known to hang out. Yeah. They searched him pretty thoroughly. Again, they won't call him a suspect, Bill. They've been playing semantics in this entire investigation.
Absolutely.
The police department has.
They've been,
but they definitely have.
All right. Well, you know, this guy's has an attempted homicide on his sheet, aggravated robbery. Obviously a low life. So, Adam, keep us posted.
And he's also admitted to.
Go ahead.
He's also admitted to robbing a bank recently, too, Bill.
Okay, Adam. We appreciate the report. Thank you very much. Next on the rundown, PBS kicks Charlie Daniels off its July 4th concert, and the reason why might anger you. We'll be back with Mr. Daniels in a moment.
It's off to work we go. We keep on singing all day long. Hi-ho, 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 gonna make your troubles go.
Want happy employees? Help secure their financial futures. At the Principal Financial Group, that's what we do. The Principal is the 401k leader. Financial solutions for you and growing businesses.
Who's our 401k with?
The Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
The human spine. Through it, nerves run to the brain, sending messages to the body.
SBC works the same way. Only our backbone, our networks, send vital signals to communities, companies, families. The nearly 190,000 people at SBC are here to say they're proud of what they've built and how they've built it. That takes a bit of backbone, too. A big company, a big responsibility. Infinite Service, SBC.
Travelocity can.
Travelocity can help me find the perfect place for my wedding.
Introduce me to unagi.
Help me rediscover my father.
Make sure that we don't miss the Aurora Borealis.
Travelocity can.
Find me a great rate to New York.
Show me where to find a penguin.
Give me tools to plan.
Tools to save.
Tools to make my trip better.
Travelocity can turn a wishful thought
into reality.
Visit or call Travelocity.
Experience the new National Geographic Channel. Spectacular new shows. Around-the-clock adventure. The continuing story of life on Earth every day of the week. A new channel. A new National Geographic. Log on to nationalgeographic.com and request the new NGC. Always wonder.
In the personal story segment tonight, PBS versus Charlie Daniels. For 21 years, PBS has broadcast a July 4th concert entitled A Capital Fourth. This year, country singer Charlie Daniels was supposed to appear, but he will not. That's because Mr. Daniels wanted to play his new song called The Last Fallen Hero. Take a listen.
Oh, the winds of war are blowing, and there's no way of knowing where this bloody path we're traveling will lead. But we must follow till the end or face it all again.
PBS says the song is too depressing, and Mr. Daniels is out. He joins us now from Nashville, Tennessee. Mr. Daniels, what do you think?
Well, I think I can't be a part of a 4th of July celebration where you can't mention the names of, I mean, not the names, but the very mention of people who died in 9/11, the policemen, the firemen, the citizens, the emergency service people, people who died in the Pentagon, the people who took that plane down. I mean, this is the first 4th of July after 9/11, and it's not even been a year. And I think that this is a very special time that these people should be remembered, that deserve to be remembered.
Now, this happened with ABC's special with Toby Keith, who wanted to sing a song where he would, you know, go get Osama bin Laden. Your song's a little bit more reflective than Mr. Keith's. But the debate is between the producers. And by the way, Peter Jennings didn't have anything to do with this at ABC.
No.
The producers of ABC and the producers at PBS basically said, look, we want a happy show.
Right.
We want a fiddling show. We want a, you know, corn on the cob 1927 show. But you say that's inappropriate this year.
I think it is. I mean, this is the only song like that I was going to do. I was going to do this, and then I went down to Georgia, which is a pretty fiddling sort of song. But I think not to even reflect on where we've come from. This country's in a lot of danger. I think we need to be reminded of it, and certainly those people need to be memorialized. And I think the 4th of July is a perfect day to do it.
Now, PBS says they did run a Memorial Day concert where they did that, but the 4th of July is more celebratory. Can you see their point at all?
No, I can't. I really can't. I mean, I can't. If it was, you know, some kind of song that was just totally radical and off the wall, I could understand it. But it's just a song that's a tribute to, you know, to these people. It's not morbid. It's not, you know, it's not real radical. It's not hateful. It's not angry. It's just, I thought it was the perfect 4th of July song, and I had intended to do it ever since we had been invited to do the show.
All right. Now, when you presented your argument, which seems reasonable to me, and I think to most people watching, what did they say to you?
They said, no, you know, this is it. You don't do this song or you don't do the show. So
did they explain themselves?
No, nothing only what you've said, that they want it to be a celebratory show, and, you know, they don't want any mentions of anything. You know, I just think it's another case of political correctness carried to the nth degree myself. I certainly believe in celebrating the 4th of July. We should eat our hot dogs and our watermelon and shoot off our fireworks. But how can we forget the victims of 9/11? I can't.
All right. Now, when you heard what they said, did you get angry?
I got frustrated, to be honest with you, about it. I mean, I couldn't understand the reasoning behind this. I mean, one song out of however many hours this thing lasted, somebody couldn't step up to the microphone and say, we would like to remember the people who lost their lives at 9/11 and sing the song and then get on to something else.
I mean, you certainly could have set it up. The show lasts 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You certainly could, particularly somebody of your stature, could have easily set it up. You know what bothers me about this is, and I'm going to read the emails tomorrow when we come in. I mean, I think most of the folks watching tonight will be on your side. On the Radio Factor we had, John, earlier today, it was about 4-2, about 4-2 in your favor. And there were some people who said, look, you know, 4th of July, I'm with my family, I don't want to be depressed, we've grieved all this time, it's time for a more uplifting, and I understand that, but I'm never one for censorship, and I see that here. $56 million, Mr. Daniels, of your money and my money and everybody's money goes to PBS every year.
Yes.
Now, if ABC wants to censor Toby Keith, I don't have a problem with that. That's a private network. You know, they picked it. But we're paying for this little concert here at PBS.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to hear your song for two reasons. Number one, I think you're right. I think that people need to be reminded. And number two, it's because I don't think they should be censoring you flat out.
Well, I just did a show not long ago on PBS called Speaking Freely, which was dedicated to free speech, and I thought that's what I thought it was a public forum. I thought public broadcasting was a public forum where people should say pretty much what they wanted to. And, I really can't understand it, Bill. I'm just at a loss for trying to figure out where they're coming from.
All right, I know where they're coming from, and you hit it on the head. Political correctness.
Amen.
Run amok and paid for by you and me, Mr.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much. Good luck
Thank
to
you,
you.
Bill.
All right. In a moment, more bad news from Martha Stewart. She could be headed for handcuffs. The latest as the factor rolls along.
This program is brought to you by Michelin because so much is riding on your tires.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, x-rayed for structural integrity, and finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
There are a lot of used cars to choose from, but Honda certified used cars come with a factory warranty and have passed a rigorous 150-point inspection. So you'll almost never find a Honda put out to pasture.
For a limited time, get special APR financing as low as 5.9% for up to 60 months on all Honda certified used cars.
America trusts America Online to make everything easy.
It's just real simple to keep in touch with AOL.
Oh, I love hearing you've got mail.
Instant messages are so much fun.
And now AOL makes it easier to get health information with WebMD.
I discovered WebMD.
WebMD is America's leading source of health information online. Communities on everything from diabetes to weight loss.
Love the chat room.
A site that I trust.
AOL has got it all.
Now's the perfect time to experience America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
I'm looking at your portfolio right now. You gotta buy.
Yes, time for picking, time for buying.
Upgraded to a super strong buy. I think you should buy.
I think you should buy it.
It's a buy.
Buy it. Just buy.
It's a no-brainer. I'd sell. Did I say sell?
No, I meant buy, yes!
There's never been a better time for Schwab Equity Ratings, a way to help you decide what to sell as well as buy. A through F ratings on 3,000 stocks, not influenced by investment banking. To learn more, call 1-800-9-SCHWAB.
The future in quality foot care is available today at your nearest Foot Solution store. Foot Solutions' trained staff is ready to fit you with custom orthotics and shoes designed to look great and feel great. Whether you're looking for top-of-the-line athletic shoes or stylish dress shoes, do your feet a favor and step into a Foot Solutions store today. When your feet feel better, your whole body feels better. Foot Solutions, your complete foot care center. 2 great Foot Solutions locations to serve you, Clackamas and Tigard.
Hi Portland, I'm Rick with Empire Glass. Let Empire Glass replace your cracked windshield and we'll still pay up to $100 of your comprehensive insurance deductible. And we'll now give you 24 free dinners to Sherry's, the #1 family restaurant and pie bakery in Oregon and Washington. And we'll even give you a certificate for a free 14-karat diamond pendant necklace with any windshield replacement. So for the highest in quality windshields, call Empire Glass today at 503-251-9881. When you think glass, think Empire.
The Factor follow-up segment tonight, Martha Stewart's stock at another bad day, down more than 20%, and it's all because the feds are investigating her for insider trading. Ms. Stewart has denied any wrongdoing, but the public evidence is not kind. Last December 27, she dumped nearly 4,000 shares of ImClone stock the day before it tanked. The CEO of ImClone has been indicted for insider trading, and he and Ms. Stewart spoke shortly before the sale. Also, Ms. Stewart's Merrill Lynch broker has been suspended, and friends of hers also dumped ImClone after talking with Martha on her jet. And with us now, William McKern, chief editorial writer for the Review and Outlook column of the Wall Street Journal. You know, I mean, if we don't want to convict the woman on television, but, oh, boy, every day it's blacker and blacker. What do you think?
Well, she's already convicted. I mean, her stock has taken a hit. We don't know what the facts are yet, and I think it's kind of sad that she already is convicted in the...
Well, we know there are some facts, Mr. McKern.
Well, we know there's some.
We know she got out a day before, and we know her friends got out. We know her broker suspended. Come on, it's not like we don't know anything.
We also know she was trying to get out in October. She sold off some stock in October. We don't know the full extent. We don't know whether she talked to her friends at ImClone or whether she talked to her broker. But she's not an insider. I mean, she doesn't have
she's not an insider?
She's not an insider. She's not part of the company. She doesn't have a fiduciary.
Well, she has a personal relationship with the CEO, certainly isn't it?
Right. Well, no, she's not part of the company. She does not have a fiduciary relationship to that company. I think, to tell you the truth, I think it's all a big distraction to me, what the real issue is.
Let's pursue this line of questioning. She, you say, is not attached to the company. So if she got a tip from this CEO, which apparently she did, now it might have come through her broker, but apparently somebody said, hey, Martha, you know, things are going south here. Because she told her friend, and her friend dumped stock, and this was the friend she was on a plane with going down to Cabo San Lucas, all right? So let's be adults here, all right? So if all this happened, and she got the tip through a broker from the CEO, she didn't have any legal downside here?
Well, first of all, you said all these things that we know, and then you said if. My position is...
Let's assume they're all true. Right. Can she be charged?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think when you start to charge outsiders, you're going to have a lot of problems. I think you could charge the people that gave her the tip.
Right.
I think that would be a very different case. But I think it leads to...
So she might beat this because she wasn't attached to the company legally.
Well, she doesn't have a legal obligation to the company.
All right. So if somebody whispers in my ear tomorrow, you better sell Cisco, all right? And I know this guy's high up in Cisco, and I sell. That's okay?
I'm not sure it's okay. It's certainly not okay from the company's point of view. I mean, I think we have to get back to who do we punish for that. And the company is responsible to its shareholders, and that is a grievous violation of the shareholders. And the shareholders
but he's already been indicted. The CEO guy has been indicted.
Right.
And this is how stupid this guy is, the head of ImClone. He tries to dump his own stock, and his own lawyers say you can't, and then he dumps his daughter's stock.
Right.
And that's how, and they were using the same broker. He was using the same broker, his daughter, and Martha Stewart shared the broker, so there's where the info came from. All right, now, Martha Stewart, though, and you might be right, and it's a good point you're raising, she might not be legally on the hook for this, but she lied to the public. She said she didn't get any insider information. Now, that will kill her, will it not?
It will, and the market has sanctions for that, as you see in her stock performance. That has nothing to do financially with this, but has to do with credibility and
so
and
she
confidence.
lies to the American public, and then it's subsequently proven that she did lie.
Right.
You see bad times ahead. Now, she's already lost about $40 million because her stock has tanked because of this. She gained $228,000 by selling these shares. So she's gained $228,000, and she's lost $40 million.
Right.
Now, I don't feel sorry for her. Am I wrong?
I think so. I think that it's not so much feeling sorry for Martha Stewart, but I think the market has its punishments. But the real issue it strikes us is the FDA in this. I mean, I would like the same kind of questions that we're giving to Martha Stewart to be given to the FDA.
You're talking about ImClone's drug and
I'm talking about the
tanked
approval process. One reason that you raise a premium for this kind of information is that it's secret
And the FDA leaked it out.
And they're so slow, and it's just amazing.
Well, it's
that
the federal government. Come on, Mr.
It is the federal government, but it's $800 million
is
is the average for a new drug. You're going to get the San Waxals to sponsor this stuff if you make it difficult.
Fine. That's another
thing. It's not
thing.
fine. It's actually terrible.
But it's another topic for another day. It's a Cavuto topic. My problem is this. There's a double-tier system on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
There are the schmoes like me and most people watching who have 401ks, and we trust the system. We don't get inside information. And then there are the Sharpies like Martha Stewart who hang with these people, who get all kinds of tips. That is flat out wrong. It is corrupt. And if it isn't fixed, that stock market's not coming back.
Yeah, I agree that investor confidence is a key part.
Because of sleazy stuff like
but again,
this.
let's put Martha Stewart in perspective. What is she supposed to do? She has information. Is she supposed to say, well, I can't trade
Tell the truth, Martha.
because I have this? But we don't know that she isn't telling the truth yet. What we do know is, again, to me, the big scandal, I think Larry Kudlow had it absolutely right when he said John Gotti got better press than Martha Stewart. I think it's just
look,
silly.
People don't like her because she's basically...
She's rich and she's successful.
It's not that she's just rich. She flaunts it and she's arrogant so that they see...
I don't know that that's a crime in America.
It isn't a crime, but that's why people don't like her, Mr. McGurn. Okay?
Well, then you should lose $40 million.
If you can flaunt it and be arrogant and you get caught in something like this, most people are going to go, and that's the truth.
Might be the truth, might not be fair.
All right, Mr. McGurn, thanks for coming in. We'll continue watching the story. Okay. Plenty more ahead as the factor moves along this evening. An environmental group says wildfires are good. What? And some gay fundraisers for AIDS under fire for debauchery. We hope you stay tuned for those reports.
What is a good object? Object must have emotion, meaning, spirit, love. This is not a toy car. It's joy. This is more than a playhouse. It's discovery. This is not a lamp. It's inspiration. This is elegance. This is more than a chair. It's liberation. Target and Stark, together we create design for everyone.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Starting today, your telephone will answer you. Introducing Pronto, your on-call assistant, live and at your service, with the information you need when you need it. Get more than just a good restaurant. Get the nearest one. More than just the nearest. Get the best. So much more than directory assistance. Get the ultimate full-service 411. Get it all for just $19.95 a month. Hear hourly updates from the Wall Street Journal.
Market report at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. The NASDAQ up 1 to 50.
Hear the latest from CNN, ESPN Sports Center, weather reports too. It works on any phone, and it's a cinch to sign up. It's no contract, no hidden fees. It's more than just answers.
Pronto, how may I help you?
It's a solution. Pronto, your on-call assistant. Change everything you know. Try Pronto today risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-866-PRONTO-1 to sign up now.
Fox News Channel. We're right on target. We're sharp. We're there.
Viewers tune to us for the truth. And that's what they get.
An interesting, compelling, fast-moving glimpse at the world around us. Information that's true and accurate, and information that's fair and balanced as well.
How will the story affect you, your life? That's what's real.
A perspective on the day's events that maybe you haven't thought of before.
Fair and balanced is not a slogan. It is what we do every day.
In the Impact segment tonight, tens of millions of dollars are going up in smoke because of wildfires out west in Arizona. The entire town of Cholo, northeast of Phoenix, is threatened. And in Colorado, fires have been burning for weeks. The fire is not only in the forest, however. Heat and friction between environmentalists and loggers is glowing. Joining us now from Oakland, California, is Neil Lawrence, the director of the Forestry Project at the Natural Resources Defense Council. I want to read you a statement that Bob Nelson, the Center for Private Conservation, told us, and you can react to it, Mr. Lawrence. What environmental groups are trying to head off is cutting down the trees to get rid of the excess wood that's burning like crazy now. The only way to get out of the excess wood is to cut it out. But every time we try to do that, environmental groups file lawsuits to try to prevent it. True?
There are so many things wrong with that statement, it's hard to know where to start, Bill. But most important, that's a statement that deflects attention away from the real problem, which is protecting people, homes, and communities. Instead, that's an effort to try to get our attention, our resources, and our taxpayer dollars spent at a wild goose chase in the backcountry, cutting down trees in a way that lines timber companies' pockets, but certainly doesn't make communities or people any safer.
All right, but every fire expert I've talked to, everyone says the reason that these fires are so bad this year is because there's so much dense undergrowth, so much brush, dead wood, that fires are natural. Everyone who studies knows that fires are actually good for the ecology. They're good because the forests replenish. But when there are so much rotted wood and wood that burns so quickly, underbrush, that it just gets out of control. There's no validity to that in your opinion?
Bill, here's the key thing. We know what to do right around homes and communities to safeguard them from fire. If we get fire-resistant, fire-retardant roofs on buildings, and we clear the vegetation from right around the buildings, from a few yards or tens of yards around the buildings, they can survive the most intense fire.
All right, what is wrong, though, with having private loggers or private corporations go into national forests and clear out the dead wood and the underbrush? What is wrong with that?
Number one, we're subsidizing that activity. As taxpayers, we're paying for that. Hundreds of millions of dollars
for that kind of activity. We're paying for this, too. We're seeing fires here, Mr. Lawrence. We're paying an enormous amount of money for this, $100 million so far this summer.
Bill, we're spending those resources in the wrong place when we go into the backwoods. Number two, we have no assurance whatsoever that that logging in the backwoods is going to make the situation better. Indeed, it may make things worse. What we know how to do is pretty simple. Remove trees and vegetation from right around houses.
I'm with you for that. Fire retardant roofs for anybody who lives in the forest and clear the fine. But if I'm the Secretary of the Interior, maybe I say this. We're going to put up for bids, contracts, for private concerns to go in and take the wood. We're not going to pay them. You do the work, you get the profit, and we're going to let you cut a certain amount of timber out of there. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is it can make the situation worse, not better. Taking medium-sized and large-sized trees, which is what the timber companies want, out of the woods makes them more flammable, not less flammable. Punching roads into the backwoods to get access for logging equipment increases by an order of magnitude the number of fire starts that humans cause in the backwoods.
Yet the firefighters say that one of the reasons they can't fight the fires that effectively is that they don't have the roads to go in because the Clinton administration did, when they were in power, blocked so many roads from going in. That's what they say. You can't fight the fire from the air is basically what it comes down to.
The firefighters need to protect communities and homes around communities and homes. That's where job number one is, not in the backcountry. In the rare case where there's some reason to go into the backcountry and try to put out a fire, say if the situation is, if the weather is extreme, you can parachute in. You can go in with airdrops and get guys in on the ground, smoke jumpers in on the ground to deal with that situation. Putting in roads may make it easier to get firefighters in today. It makes the risk of fire much worse in the future.
All right. Now, would you let these fires burn out of control, burn themselves out?
Well, that's a complicated question. There is no question that when fire weather is extreme, it's important to get in and stop fires from burning so they don't get out of control. But every time we put a fire out, there's a huge price to be paid. Not today, not this year, but down the road.
And also, well, it is today. As I said, $100 million so far to the taxpayer to put these out. All right, Mr. Lawrence, I think it's an interesting debate. We'll let the audience decide as always. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks, Bill.
When we come back, AIDS fundraisers turning into high-risk drug and sex parties, both sides, as the factor continues.
I'm Kiran Chetri. President Bush announcing an ambitious plan for the Mideast. It calls for some big compromises between Israel and the Palestinian Authority. And even in the midst of peace talk, more violence today. Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin has more.
No one here wants to appear to be rejecting President Bush's vision, so each side found something that they liked about President Bush's speech. Both Prime Minister Ariel Sharon and Yasser Arafat welcomed the speech. The acceptance by Arafat, who is currently surrounded by Israeli tanks in Ramallah again, is particularly surprising since the speech contained an unprecedented call for the Palestinians to replace their leaders. Palestinian officials reacted angrily, saying it's okay to encourage elections, but the results should not be predetermined by the United States. The problem remains extremist Palestinian groups like the militant Islamic group Hamas, whose spiritual leader is shown here. This whole vision is still held hostage to the suicide bombers, and one bombing could put it all on hold. The question now that the Israelis are virtually controlling the West Bank is how far is President Bush willing to go to unify or replace the Palestinian security forces so they can actually stop these suicide bombers and get his vision moving. In Jerusalem, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
And we're back at the bottom of the hour with another update here on Fox.
Introducing the totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. Now you can achieve maximum inner space within seconds. With exclusive powerful third-row seats. Whoa. That fold flat at the touch of a button. The totally new 2003 Ford Expedition. It has no equal. It has no boundaries.
They have been my clients for 12 years. It was their dream to retire here, to the place where this couple first met, married, and always planned to return. But I embraced that dream with unwavering attention. And it became my own. Because that was the dream of my client. And that's what I do at Morgan Stanley. One client at a time.
Hi, I'm John Scheer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. You know, after teaching people how to operate their computers for over 15 years now, I'm amazed that there are still people that don't have computer skills, like Windows, word processing, the internet, and email. If you're looking for that new job, or maybe it's just balancing your budget, or even helping your kids with homework, these aren't handy skills to have, these are essential. If you're having trouble learning the computer, I'm going to help you out with a free learning lesson of your choice from Video Professor. Let me show you how simple this is. You put the CD in your CD drive. The lesson plays just like a video on your computer screen. The best part about this offer, this is free. You just pay a small shipping and handling, and I'll even refund that if you're not satisfied with my product. It's free, the risk is free, so what do you got to lose? Try my product.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-409-2627.
Thanks for staying with us. Bill O'Reilly and the Unresolved Problem segment tonight. They are called circuit parties, fundraisers for gay charities and AIDS prevention. They're happening all over the USA. The problem is these parties may be spreading AIDS, according to a survey by the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta. Of nearly 300 men who have attended circuit parties, things are pretty much out of control. 95% of the men admitted they took at least one illegal drug at the parties, 95%. And 28% of the men said they had unprotected sex at those parties. With us now is journalist Michelangelo Signorelli, the author of the book Life Outside, and Richard Elovich, the former director of HIV prevention at the Gay Men's Health Crisis. All right, Mr. Signorelli, you don't like these parties, huh?
Well, my problem with the parties is not about necessarily what's going on in terms of it being bad or immoral or terrible or anything like that. My problem with them is about HIV prevention. I'm an AIDS activist, always have been, through much of my career, and I'm concerned about it. And in my book, I went and looked at them and studied them and talked about how AIDS organizations should not be promoting them by hosting them. You know, I'm not about shutting them down. Parties are going to happen. You know, spring break, heterosexual teenagers are all partying. But the organizations that are supposed to be standing up and providing information about being responsible about safer sex should not be promoting them to the community and telling gay men, come to our party and be part of this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a wild orgy here, Mr. Elovich. I mean, you got a third of the people attending having unprotected sex and almost everyone under the influence of narcotics. I mean, what say you?
Well, first of all, I think that you've picked, sensationalized images of the party. So, for example...
Well, wait. The study from the CDC says 95% of them. I mean, how much more can I sensationalize?
I went to a Neil Young concert, dates myself. Recently, I went to a Neil Young concert, and people returned to their seats with 2 glasses of beer. I would suspect there's a lot less damage going on at these parties than's happening at a lot of, Guinness festivals.
You're flying in the face of facts. 95% say they use an illegal drug, and 1/3 of them say they have unprotected sex at the party. They don't even wait till they go home. See, that's what most people do.
So let's take that. Let's take that, for example. When we had prohibition in terms of alcohol, did that mean that everyone who was using alcohol was abusing alcohol? Some of the real problems that we're having in terms of these drugs that people are using, and we're talking about adults. You have with kids who are supposedly in a supervised environment, 50% of kids are smoking pot.
You're deflecting all of this all over the place, Mr. Elovich. Look, to me, I'm saying if 50% of the AIDS virus in this country is being passed by homosexual men, and that's a stat, all right, and then you want to raise money to fight that, yet at the event you're having people, almost all of them intoxicated. 95%.
No, there's no evidence. I'm sorry.
95%.
It says 95% use drugs
at the party.
At the party, would you say if 95% of people at a bar drink, does that mean they're intoxicated?
There's a difference between taking a drug and having a beer. Go ahead.
I just want to tell you what the CDC did not say intoxicated.
No, I'm saying it.
So you're making that jump.
You're making that
jump.
Let me give a little more depth to what we're talking about here. We're not talking about a Neil Young concert where a bunch of people go to an event and go home that night. We're talking about events that take place often in resort hotels for an entire weekend. We're talking about gay men flying in from around the country and around the world, a community in which HIV is highly prevalent, doing drugs. Every study we've seen connects drug use to unprotected sex, doing drugs, having sex maybe at the event, but all weekend at these hotels where these events, there's one in Palm Springs that goes on all weekend. There have been several overdoses throughout the weekend every year. There have been numerous occasions of people engaging in unsafe sex, writing about it, talking about it. So we know that that is what's happening. We're not talking about one event here. We're talking about weekends in which people are coming together, and there is a lot of unprotected sex.
Yeah, but people like Mr. Elledge
if you were really interested in HIV prevention, where the rates of HIV prevention are really, where HIV is really skyrocketing, is amongst young men, right?
Yeah,
15 to 22 years old. No, they're not at the party.
They're not at the party.
The ones who go to the party can afford $35 for a ticket, and they're largely middle-aged white men. The young men who are actually getting infected are black
I got to ask Mr. Elovich something.
But you're not going to make a program about black and Latino men getting infected and where they actually need services.
If there's a reason to do it, I'll do it.
If you wanted HIV prevention to be there, that's where it would be. It's not at these parties.
You are trying to justify these parties when these parties are putting people at risk. And I'm not getting that. You should be saying, if you're, somebody who wants to cut down on AIDS transmission, hey, we'll have our parties, but we're not going to allow any illegal drugs in there, and you're going to behave yourself. Why aren't you saying that?
Illegal drugs don't equal unprotected sex.
Every study shows
it does not. No, in fact, I'll tell you what the study shows. That's not true.
And you are being totally dishonest.
What the study shows is don't personalize it, because in fact, what the study shows is that very often people want to have. They want to have sex without barriers, and in the same way as you and your wife might turn down the lights, that's what people are doing very often with a beer, with taking a toke from grass. What people are doing is they want to have it.
It's dishonest.
No, you're not. You want dishonest?
Men
what you
in
did
that
is
age
you
group
closed down. You closed down the morning party.
Can I please finish?
You moved.
Can I speak,
you moved
Richard?
HIV prevention out of the morning party.
Can you shut up for a minute?
All right. Time out, fellas. Time out. I'm going to give you both the last statement, but I'm going to tell you, Mr. Elovich, that your thinking is wrong, it's fallacious, and it's dangerous. The facts show that 1/3 of the men that attend these parties have unprotected sex. If you care about the spread of AIDS, you would condemn that, and you would condemn any steps that could possibly lead up to it. All right, now I'm going to let you have your statement, and then you'll have yours. Go.
First of all, for him to call me a demagogue, I am a card-carrying member of the liberal media establishment, Bill. I am, forget about it, on everything from abortion to our president, George W. Bush. So for him to position me as a moralist is really demeaning, one. Two, he is being dishonest to say that that age group, it doesn't matter. And when you want to talk about teenagers, what are our AIDS groups, our organizations saying to young people?
Michie, go ahead. Last statement.
Okay, first, you represented as fact the fact that people are using drugs, therefore they're intoxicated. We know this around alcohol. People can drink.
Right.
Some people
else?
get in
you
trouble,
made that point.
some people don't.
Anything else?
The second is that effective HIV prevention is not finger-wagging, shooting on people. What you see is helping people, bringing this out in the open. What Michelangelo, if you would do a story, is about someone like Chris Mann, a doctor who was sports medicine,
you would be
who took that.
Gentlemen, we have to run. We have to run.
Med events at the parties. Talk about
all right,
that.
that's it. That's it.
You just want
guys.
You want ink.
Yes,
you want ink
too.
This is about the heat.
We'll be
not
right
the
back.
light.
We'll be right back.
What are you doing
And these
here,
guys will argue into the morning. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Red Lobster.
Wagner to serve. Wait a minute. He's walking off the court. What's going on? Look at the size of those shrimp.
You won't believe your eyes. Red Lobster's jumbo shrimp. Big, succulent shrimp in mouth-watering combinations. Choose from crunch fried, coconut, or scampi. Available right now for a very limited time. Mix and match any two for just $12.99. Red Lobster. Go overboard.
Important. Take exactly as directed, but first call around and compare drug prices. Avoid paying too much for your prescriptions. Generics may work as well as brand names. Tell your physician and pharmacist everything you're taking. Some medicines don't interact well. Don't let advertising sell you on drugs you don't need. AARP reminds you to check up on your prescriptions.
Hi, it's Pam Paulette at City Liquidators Furniture Warehouse, where you'll find a great selection on children's furniture like metal bunk beds at $129 or this Sweetheart bunk bed at $199. What about a futon bunk bed? Only $189. Or this Mission wood bunk bed for $349. Save money on mattresses like twin mats from $59 or a queen pillow top mattress and box, both pieces only $399. City Liquidators saves you money.
Design at 9. It's about style, balancing the latest trends with your own tastes. It's about spirit, letting your personality come shining through. It's about comfort, feeling good in your home. Freedom, letting your imagination carry you away. It's about time. Design at 9. Weeknights at 9, only on HGTV, Home and Garden Television. Imagine what you can do.
Motorhomes, motorhomes, motorhomes. There are more motorhomes at our dealership than you can imagine. Over 1,000 of them, new and used. Over 60 different new RV brands. The largest selection on the whole West Coast by far. The best RV service facilities in the area. And because we're out of the big city, we can sell for less. We take care of you before and after the sale. So, if you're thinking about a motorhome, come to our 2 locations in Junction City or our Coburg location on I-5. Eggs are cheaper in the country, and so are motorhomes, motorhomes, motorhomes.
Kids, it's home movie time.
Look, there's the baby.
Boring.
Hey, there's Fort Vancouver. Remember the reserve?
That was great. Yeah, they had live music.
And the biggest firework display west of Mississippi.
Come out and celebrate the 4th as AT&T Broadband presents the Vancouver 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular at the Historic Reserve. With patriotic music on Z100 and K103. Brought to you by News Channel 8, your official station of summer.
And now, our trip to Iowa.
Oh, Dad.
You thought I was argumentative. I think they're still fighting back there. In the Back of the Book segment tonight, police chases have become common in America, as we all know, as scores of stupid criminals get nationwide attention by putting the public and police at risk. Last Wednesday, a 16-year-old boy in Detroit tried to outrun police in a minivan, a vehicle that had been stolen a week earlier. Finally, the teen slammed into two cars. You're watching it right in front of you. Took off on foot. There he goes. Not far. Boom. He's down for the count. One police officer was injured and hospitalized in this incident. Question is, who are these Chase people? Joining us now from Detroit is Ron Savage, a crime reporter for WJBK-TV, a Fox affiliate. Is a 16-year-old kid, right? Tell me about him.
That's right, Bill. Yeah, and you know, it's our policy and my policy not to report the juvenile's name. He is 16, a juvenile, but these are serious charges. He was arraigned today with these charges, a lot of them felonies, Bill. He has been in trouble. We are using his name. Prosecutors are releasing the name to the media tonight. Tony Akins is the young man's name, 16 years old. These serious charges: carjacking, that's a felony, life sentence; assault with intent, unarmed robbery on an armed robbery, that's a felony; felony firearm, fleeing, eluding police, no driver's license, reckless driving. Mr. Akins has been in trouble, but not much trouble before. In 1998, he was convicted as a juvenile of beating two family members up inside the home. He was given probation but told to attend counseling. He quit attending the counseling recently. They were looking for him. Here's where you see the scene on video. He sees a man in Detroit, a good Samaritan, Bill, who stops to help a guy with a flat tire. Mr. Akins, cops say, comes up and says, with a gun, "I want your van," drives off, has the van for a week, according to cops, and then you see this scene play out when cops are looking for this stolen van.
And he didn't even change the license plate on the van, right?
That's right. Kept
I
the
mean,
same
all right,
plate.
so this is an idiot kid, a high school dropout? Do we know?
Well, I've talked to two prosecutors now who didn't see family members at the hearing today. If there were some family members, there weren't a lot of them. They don't believe he's finished high school. He is being tried as an adult in a juvenile court. So in Michigan law, that means that he has a choice of a 12-person jury, 6-person jury, or perhaps a judge overseeing his case. It's up to him and his attorney. Now, you asked about, is he a dropout? Family members. We knew he had problems at home, but prosecutors are telling me he wasn't a big problem child. He had a probation, a conviction, and that's where we're at. But now he's in big trouble.
Now, if he gets convicted of carjacking with a weapon, and you said it's life in Michigan?
That's right. Michigan law is a life sentence. However, it is a juvenile in juvenile court. He's tried as an adult in juvenile court. That's the distinction. It's an unusual case now that'll be heard. It has happened before, but because of that, there'll be no mandatory sentencing. So it's up to the judge and the jury to decide, with the judge overruling.
Okay. You know, it's amazing to me, Ron, and you're a crime reporter. You see this stuff all the time. These guys never get away with this stuff. I mean, they never do. And, yeah, they get their 10 minutes of running around and the camera's on them and all of that. But they compound the offense by 1,000-fold with all of the additional charges of fleeing and the cops and all of that. And you would think that even the dimmest of them would learn, you're not going to get away.
Hey, have we heard before crime doesn't pay? Detroit police got their man this time. They thought they were dealing with an adult. They didn't know they were dealing with a 16-year-old kid. They are starting young now, young in this town, young in this country. But cops are getting them, Bill, and you're right, crime isn't going to pay.
Yeah, I mean, well, some crime. If you work for Enron, you might get away with it. But not some clown in a stolen minivan for a week with same plates. I mean, geez.
And you feel for the victims, too, on the street,
Sure.
those people that were run into.
Sure.
They did take some charges against that. But
and they're not going to recover. Those guys who got their cars hit, I mean, I hope they have insurance because they're not going to get any from this guy. I'd put him away. I'd give him probably 15. I'd probably give him 15 out when he's 31. That's probably what I'd do. Ron, thanks very much.
On the money.
We appreciate it. Next, we'll wrap things up. The most ridiculous item of the day. Some of you know.
Look closely at history in the making. This is the rarest U.S. $20 gold piece and the single most valuable coin ever struck. It's the only legal tender coin of its kind in existence. Our Treasury Department estimates its worth at up to $8 million. Now, you can reserve your own 1933 gold double eagle as a 10 mil pure gold proof for only $19.95. What can make one single coin worth millions of dollars? It's a story stranger than fiction. When President Roosevelt ordered the destruction of gold coins in 1933, one single coin escaped meltdown. Then it was stolen, bought, hidden, and finally seized by the Treasury Department and sealed in a vault at the World Trade Center. Again, the double eagle escaped fate when it was moved to Fort Knox only 8 months before the terror attack. Soon it will become the single most valuable coin ever struck when it is auctioned in New York City on July 30th, 2002. To mark this historic event, National Collectors Mint has released its 1933 Double Eagle Proof. Lady Liberty is magnificently engraved in frosted relief on a brilliant mirror finish background. On the reverse, the majestic American eagle hovers in flight as if guiding the amazing journey of the historic coin. Each 1933 gold Double Eagle Proof comes with an individually numbered certificate of authenticity. The final issue price is set at $39 each, but during this advance release, you can own the magnificent gold Double Eagle Proof for just $19.95. Each is 24-karat gold clad and is guaranteed to be in proof condition. Orders accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. Strict limit of 5 proofs per caller. Don't miss out on this historic offer. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-518-8778. That's 1-800-518-8778. Sorry, limit 5 gold proofs per caller. Don't wait. Call 1-800-518-8778. That's 1-800-518-8778.
Balance. If you don't have balance, you can get into a lot of trouble. At Fox & Friends, we believe that you deserve news, fair and balanced, every day of the week. That's why we bring you a brighter side of news that will wake you up faster than a cup of joe. And when there's vital information that affects you, your family, or your nation, we bring the guests and cover the globe to get you answers. So keep your balance every day with Fox & Friends on the network America trusts for fair and balanced news.
Time now for the most ridiculous item of the day. Gary Condit spreading around a cash. According to the newsletter Roll Call, Condit significantly improved the salaries of 3 key staffers in the days following the Chandra Levy scandal. Condit doubled the pay of his secretary in Modesto, California, making Jackie Mullen one of the highest paid secretaries in Congress. Now cynics might say that Condit could have been buying some silence. But hey, like the Ghostbusters, we are ready to believe you, Gary. Just come on to Factor, explain all this generosity. Paid for by your campaign fund, and everything will be okay. More ridiculous stuff attached to a ridiculous man. And how about that mail about Orville Schell, the dean of the Berkeley School of Journalism? He called Fox News a virus that is infecting other TV news organizations. Millard Rice, Austin, Texas. Mr. O'Reilly was troubled by your treatment of Dean Schell. His criticisms are entirely accurate. Try listening. Roland Rogers, Milton, Florida. Schell has a valid point. If all the news programs pattern themselves after the leader, Fox News, then we, the public, will get information that might not serve our best interests. Mr. Rogers, think about it. Did you hear Dean Schell objecting when there were just 5 TV news outlets, the network, CNN, and PBS? They're pretty much the same, and you didn't hear a word from the dean. Now there's a viable alternative, and he's worried. Come on. Ina Jean Bingham, New York City. O'Reilly, your segment with the dean was dominated by the sound of your own voice. Now, I may be loquacious, Miss Bingham, but I'm also loud. About the Justice Department clearing Bill and Hillary Clinton in the vote-buying investigation. Don Batchelor, Iron City, Georgia. Mr. O'Reilly, you are obsessed with the Clintons. I deplore Mr. Clinton's character, but I did have a healthy portfolio during those years. If you want to see greed, just focus on Bush and Cheney and their energy friends. Bet you won't put this on the air. Well, there you go, Mr. Batchelor. And if I get your drift, it's okay to be corrupt if your portfolio is doing well. Mike Kuczynski, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, keeps stirring up the Clinton investigations. Bill, that's what Congress did. And while we were looking at Monica, the terrorists were planning their attack. Derek Marino, Scarsdale, New York. I guess it's okay if Hillary doesn't get prosecuted because, thanks to the Factor, we all know what she really did. Joe Higgins, Newark, Delaware. Bill, agree with you that Americans should know what went down in the investigation. Looks like the Clintons wiggled out of another one. Dr. Chaim Davidson, Israel. Welcome to Israeli TV, Mr. O'Reilly. We just watched the Factor, and what a difference from CNN. Amir Qureshi, Birmingham, Alabama. Mr. O'Reilly, I feel you have very little knowledge about the Arab and Muslim world. Reality is much different than you perceive it to be. Mr. Qureshi, I have visited a half-dozen Muslim countries, spent a considerable amount of time in them. I believe I have a handle on the situation. Danny Cook, Fresno, California. Bill is a former law enforcement agent. I can tell you why the police don't label suspects in public. To do so would mean they come under Miranda rights. Just interviewing someone gives them more latitude. Well, very good, Mr. Cook. Thank you for the info. I used it earlier in the Factor, and a copy of the O'Reilly Factor paperback, signed, is on its way to you. And Marion Stilson, Hemet, California. My mother is 98 and watches the Factor every night. Is she your oldest listener? Could be Marion, although I believe Alan Combs is approaching that age. Plastic surgery, Botox. How about that website? www.foxnews.com/O'Reilly. No Botox on the website. However, my column for WorldNetDaily.com is What is it about? I can never remember. I write these columns last week, and oh, I know what it is. It's about the Michael Moore book and how the Moore spins an outrageous amount of stuff. You'll enjoy this. Also, please email us with some pithy comments. O'Reilly@foxnews.com. O'Reilly@foxnews.com. I'm getting old. Combs is old, but I'm getting old too. All right. That is, keep it pithy and name in town if you wish to opine. That is it for us today. You know, I'm still kind of rattled about the two gay guys. They're still brawling back there. We had to call security. I'm not kidding. We had to call security. That is it for us today. As always, we thank you for watching The Factor. Please remember the Radio Factor on Westwood 1 from coast to coast each weekday. Hanny and Combs next, the latest in the smart kidnapping case. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Hope to see you again next time. Remember, the spin stops here.
Next on Special Report, the president backs a provisional Palestinian state, but only under new leadership and after sweeping political, economic, and security reforms. We'll have reaction.